Hey, Lawrence, the Red Flag Coach here today. My better half is not here with me today, so I have it by myself. So listen, today I want to talk to my brothers about what it means to date with intention. Listen to me, date with intention and not just some desire. I want to ask a question. Let's just have a question, fellas. Let's have a conversation, fellas. Listen to me now. I want y'all to be real with me. How many of you have been like me where you dated someone just to pass some time away? Come on, let's talk, fellas. How many of you who are watching me today have dated people just to pass the time away? As a matter of fact, I may not have a whole lot of brothers on here watching it, so I want to ask the ladies. Ladies, how many men have you dated that you thought that they were going to be serious with you, only to discover that they were just playing games? So today I want to talk to my fellas today. I want to talk to the fellas because in our culture, listen to me now, in our culture today, there's all this casual dating. There's all this ego-driven stuff. And we have got to address the elephant in the room, which is this casual dating and dating without intention. And here's the interesting part, ladies. You are the ones that cause men to continue dating with no intention because you allow your emotions to take you down the road before you even find out if he is going to be serious or not. So here it is. I'm going back to my men. So many men in this day and age, they are simply dating for sex. They're dating because of loneliness. They're not dating for purpose. And what I want my fellas to understand is that there's so much damage that's done. Listen to me, there's so much damage that's done when we continue to get into relationships where we know we're not trying to build anything with them. There's a lot of damage done when we know that we are in relationships and we do not plan on building a life with them. Been guilty of it, dating just to pass time. So let's talk about this. But I want to give us some clarity before we get started into this conversation. I want to say this to my fellas. A good woman isn't a time filler. A good woman is a future builder. Did you hear what I just said? A good woman isn't a time filler. It's not somebody to just fill your time with. A good woman is really a future builder. How do I know? If you go back to Genesis, when Eve comes on the scene, when God tells Adam, it's not good for you to be alone, when Eve comes on the scene, guess what? She came into his life to help fulfill the purpose that was already on Adam's life. A woman is supposed to be a helpmeet, someone who meets the needs, someone who fits into the plan. And I want you to hear me, fellas, because a woman's time, don't ever get this mixed up, is not your playground. So if you don't know what you want, stay single. I'm saying to you because I've done enough myself dragging women through my confusion, confused on knowing what I wanted. Listen to me now. I didn't tell them up front what I really wanted. I was just passing time. I was just in it to win it. And I'm saying to you, we have got to stop that behavior because it's causing a lot of issues in our community. Are y'all listening to me? Fellas, listen to me now. I'll say this to you because you have got to understand dating is not a game. You got to understand that people's hearts, these ladies' hearts are involved in this. So listen, so what does dating with intention, what does it mean? I'm glad y'all asked some good questions. Dating with intention means simply this: know why you're dating. It's simple. Why are you dating? When you meet that girl, see her at the club or see her at the restaurant or see her at the gym, and you go up to her and get her number, what is the real intent? Because the truth of the matter is, we are visual. Men have to see something first in order to say something. Did you hear what I just said? Men are visual. We have to see something. Something has to catch our eye before we say something. So when we go to say something, the question becomes, why are we saying it? Why are we trying to get their number? What is the purpose of it? And so, ladies, I want to talk to you. When a man steps to you, the question becomes, what is the reason he's stepping to you? And here's the problem. You don't really even ask. You're just glad somebody is approaching you that wants to take you out on a date. I'm saying to you, you have to know up front what their intentions are. Am I making sense? You have to know what their intentions are. And here's what I want to tell the fellas, because again, this episode is really for my fellas. I want you to start being honest. Be upfront. A woman would respect you more if you just told her up front what your intentions were. Y'all are not listening to me today. A woman would respect you more if you just told her up front, you know what? Only thing I want to do is have somebody that I can have casual sex with. Only thing I want is somebody that I can go out to dinner with. Whatever it might be. If you're honest up front, you give them an opportunity to say whether or not they want to continue dating you. And if they do, they can't blame you now. They have to blame themselves because you were honest up front about what you were looking for. So watch this now. I want to keep going. You have to understand that dating with intention also means having self-control. In the words of Janet Jackson, control. You've got to have self-control. What do I mean by that? Don't get into a situation where you pursue something that you're not ready to handle. Don't get into a situation where you pursue someone that you're not ready to handle. Why? Because you got to learn how to respect her time, respect her space, respect her boundaries, respect her energy. I'm saying to you that you have to know this up front, why you are dating. So let's talk about this. If we tell the truth, fellas, if we tell the truth, listen to me good. Most of us grew up in homes where we didn't hear I love you. Most of us grew up in homes where we didn't hear I'm proud of you. Most of us grew up in homes where we saw dysfunction. Most of us grew up in homes where dad probably had a little side chick. Or if we didn't grow up with dad, we saw mom having 2 or 3 different boyfriends through the course of our elementary, middle, high school years. Either way, we saw dysfunction. And when you and I start dating without intention, I'm talking to my fellas now. When you and I start dating without intention, here's what we end up doing. What we end up doing is consistently raising another generation that thinks that confusion is normal. I'm gonna say it again. What we end up doing when we continue to date without intention, we end up raising another generation that literally thinks that confusion is normal. Here's something, fellas, I really want you to think about, right? Your dating habits don't just affect your partner. They literally affect your legacy. I'm gonna say it again. Your dating habits don't just affect your partner. They affect your legacy. They do. So watch this now. When we, as men, start dating with intention, it shifts the paradigm. It shifts the narrative. What do I mean? I'm glad you asked. So now what we're able to do, we're able to show our young fellas that we know how to love, we know how to communicate, we know how to be emotionally available. That's what we have to do. When we start dating with intention, we shift the narrative, we shift that whole paradigm and show our young men, our young ladies that we're capable of love, we're capable of growth, and we're also capable of emotional maturity. Listen to me now. When we shift the narrative, that's what we're now displaying, that we're capable of love. But I want you to hear me now. Our young people who are coming up behind us, if you look at it, if you're paying any attention to that younger generation, they are already following the footsteps of what we have put in place, not intentional with dating. So now you got these young guys, teenagers, they're dating, they get into a relationship, have a little sex with these girls, move on to the next one, because that's what we have put in their mindsets, that this is just casual. This is just something that we do, but that's something that we've got to break. We've got to break that cycle, because if we don't, it's going to continue to ravage our community, ravage our sisters. So let's talk about this, right? Let me tell you why this really makes a difference. This really matters in our culture, especially in the Black community, right? For the most part, we have been taught to survive. We can take that back to slavery days. We can take that back to the time when our ancestors were enslaved. We were taught to survive, not to connect, not to build. So in our relationships, what ends up happening is that we, because of that, being taught to just survive, we have not been taught to build. So that's why you have so many fragmented families. That's why you have so many kids who are growing up without their fathers in the houses, because we were not taught to build. We were just taught to survive, right? So think about this now. So the survival mindset of a lot of brothers now, it caused them to start pursuing people, when I say people, women, for comfort and not connection. Listen to me. That survival mindset that we were taught, it only caused us to pursue women for comfort and not connection. All you got to do is look. And I want to say this, fellas, you and I have got to understand our queens deserve far more than that. Our queens deserve far more than that. They don't need to continue to deal with confusion, sending mixed signals, not being honest up front. Because you got to understand, for years, if you think about it, for years, our women, they've had to carry the households. Our women, they more or less raised the children alone. Let me just talk about my family. Growing up, right? Had both parents in the house. Dad worked all the time, great provider, because in that culture also, that's what they were taught. You provide for your family. You provide, make sure they got food, make sure they got clothes, make sure they got the things that they need. That's what they were taught in their culture, in their day rather. So watch this now. So what ends up happening now, for years though, women have been the ones to keep the household together, to raise the children while the men worked. Some of them had jobs also, but they did the majority of the work as it relates to the household, right? And so what ends up happening, they end up always asking themselves, I'm talking about the women now, asking themselves, where's the consistency? I'm doing everything. And so we got to understand, fellas, you're thinking that women are bitter and angry. They're not bitter and angry. They're just tired of being disappointed. They're tired of men stepping to them, acting like they want to be in a relationship when they really don't. They don't. And fellas, here's our thing. Hear me on this. Some of us don't have commitment issues. We got character issues. Some of y'all don't have commitment issues. You just got character issues. You are continuously dating with no intentions. Think about it. I know this might be a little rough, and some of y'all gonna be saying, oh man, he just simping. No, I'm saying to you that we've got to do a better job, fellas, of making sure that we take care of our queens. Because if we don't, our communities, our children are going to continue to think that confusion is normal. And you can't tell me that is not taking a real toll on our community even now. Watch this now. So here's what you do. You meet her. Know your intentions are not going to be great from the beginning. You entertain her, you call her, you text her, you take her out to eat. Watch this, you sleep with her, you compliment her, and you know for yourself, you know good and well that you don't have no plan to build nothing with her. That ain't confusion. That's carelessness. Now let me talk to my sisters. Come closer, sisters. I want to say to you that every man, listen to me now, every man knows whether you are mattress material or marriage material. Can I say that again? Every man knows. Don't let no man fool you. Every man knows whether you're mattress material or marriage material. And watch this. And it doesn't take them 10 years to figure it out. That's a mic drop. It doesn't take them 10 years to figure out whether you're mattress material or marriage material. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said a few minutes ago. Our problem was, or is, we were taught survival and not to build. And so we don't understand how detrimental that has been with us. So let's talk about what dating with intention means. Because you got to know what dating with intention really means. I mean, the title says dating with intention, but what does that really mean? Dating with intention simply means I know what I want. And here's the thing, and I say it up front. Right, listen to me now. I know what I want, and I say it up front, and guess what? And I don't pursue what I'm not ready to protect. Okay. If you're not ready to protect the relationship, listen to me then, don't pursue it. If you're not ready to be committed, don't pursue it. If you're not ready to be consistent, don't pursue it. Ladies, would you agree with me? Here's one of the things that I like to tell fellas, right? Because sometimes, again, we like to think that women are hard to deal with. We like to think that women are hard to deal with. No. This is what I tell fellas. If you give a woman attention, communication, affection, and consistency, she's down for the long haul. I'm going to say it again. If you give a woman attention, communication, affection, and consistency, she's down like 4 flat tires. She's not going anywhere. But here's the thing, fellas. If you're not ready to love her right, leave her alone. And catch this. And most times, we as men are not ready to love them right. Why? Because we're still carrying emotional baggage from our childhood that we have not resolved. Can I say that one more time? We're still carrying baggage from our childhood that we have not resolved. So watch this. Let me show you where the excuses come from. So men in relationship, they have these excuses, right? They say stuff like, well, I told her I wasn't looking for anything serious. That may be because in your childhood, you dealt with rejection, you dealt with abandonment, and you don't want to commit because you're saying to yourself, if I put myself in that position, I might experience abandonment or rejection again. So they say stuff like, I told her I wasn't looking for anything serious. But watch this, though. But you acted like you were. You acted like you were. Listen to me, fellas. Listen to me. Listen to me. Come closer. You don't get points for being honest when your behavior told a different story. You do not get brownie points for being honest when your behavior told a different story. In other words, what do I mean by that? I'm glad you asked. There's no need of you saying, this is what I want, and your behavior, your actions are showing something different. So here, you got another fellow one time told me this. He said, man, I didn't force her to catch feelings for me. I didn't tell her to catch feelings for me. But, brother, fella, man, your actions show differently. You showed up like a boyfriend, and guess what she did? She responded like a girlfriend. And you got to recognize that's not on her. You can't blame her for that. You showed up like a boyfriend. And she showed up and responded like a girlfriend. And I'm saying to you, that's on your mixed signals that you've been sending. Had another relationship that we were coaching, another couple that we were coaching after they had been in a relationship for a few months. He said, well, I told her I was just vibing right now. I'm not ready to settle down. Now, let me just talk to the ladies, because there are men who tell you up front that they're not ready to settle down. So you can't get mad at them. Watch this. You can't get mad at them a year down the road when they're not ready to settle down. They told you that they weren't ready to settle down. So when that fella, when we say stuff like, I'm just vibing right now, I'm not ready to settle down, here's what I want to say to the fellas. When you say I'm just vibing right now, we just kicking it right now, I'm not ready to settle down. Here's what I would tell you to do then. Stop entertaining women who are ready to settle down. Just kicking it. I think that was TLC that had that song of just, whatever it was. So listen to me now. Stop entertaining women who are ready to settle down. Because what you're talking about, I'm just kicking it right now, I'm just vibing right now. What you got to understand is that when you say I'm just kicking it or I'm just vibing right now, what you're simply doing is wasting years of somebody else's life. That's all you're doing. You're wasting years of somebody else's life, right? Had another guy told me, after he had broke her heart, man, she knew what it was. No, she knew what you said it was. But what she didn't know was that your words and your actions, they were working against each other. Oh man, listen, you were committed as long as you had a chance to get the sex. And then after you got the sex for a while, then all of a sudden, then you started changing. So now your actions have shifted, and now you're saying, well, she knew what it was. No, your actions started saying one thing, and then as time went on, your behaviors changed. So watch this now. I got to go Bible with you. There's a scripture in the New Testament in 1 Thessalonians, chapter number 4, right? Verses 3 through 6. I'm not going to read all of them, but watch this. It says, don't run roughshod over the concerns of your brothers and sisters. Their concerns are God's concerns, and he will take care of them. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean, fellas? Listen, God, I'm telling you now, he cares about how you treat people when you're in relationships. God cares about how we treat these ladies in relationships. Because when you are using people sexually, using people emotionally, that's not representing kingdom behavior. Been there, done that, got the trophy on the wall and a t-shirt as a souvenir. That is not kingdom behavior. So you got to understand now, dating with discipline is not just wise, it's godly. Dating with discipline, dating with intention, dating with intentionality is not just wise, it's literally godly. And so what ends up happening when we continue to date with no intention, what's going to end up happening is that we're going to end up sabotaging ourselves, right? We're going to end up sabotaging ourselves because what we'll start doing is missing out on real love because we're too busy playing games. Do you know how many relationships could have been extremely beneficial for us, but we were playing games? Come on now, y'all talk to me, fellas. You got that special lady that you be thinking about all the time, man, I did her wrong. I shouldn't have did her like that. Come on now, I shouldn't have done her like that. So let me just talk about this, right? I want you to know now, what does that look like? What does intentional dating look like? What does intentional dating really look like? Watch this. It looks like knowing your purpose before pursuing someone. Did you hear me? It literally means knowing your purpose before pursuing someone. Adam already had his purpose in place. As a matter of fact, Adam didn't even know he needed anyone. God came to him and says, it's not good for you to be alone. You missed what I just said right there. I'm saying to you, know your purpose before you pursue anybody. Watch this now, because women have to have someone who knows where they're going so that they can help them get to where they're going. If a woman doesn't have anything to work with, it's going to be a long, tedious journey because women have to have something to work with. Show me what you're working with. Don't jump into no relationship if you don't know your purpose. Right? Let me give you another one. Being honest with your intentions, even if they're casual. Even if you say, I just want to kick it with you, just want to have sex, dating with intention means be upfront. Be honest with them. Tell the truth. You already know why you're dating. No. You have to be okay being honest up front because I'm going to say it again. Women will respect you more when you, talking about you fella, you brother, tell them the truth up front. Now, I got to talk to the ladies. I want to talk to the ladies. Listen to me now, ladies. Listen to me now. When you jump into a relationship and you are not clear on what they are clear about as it relates to you, don't blame them, blame yourself. You ought not let your emotions get in the way and then regret because you didn't figure out or find out from the beginning what their intentions were. Because sometimes when a brother steps to you, you're just glad that he's interested in you. You go out on dates, said nothing about what the real intentions are. And so you've got to be able to be woman enough to ask those questions up front. What's your intentions? Why do you want to date me? Most times y'all ladies don't ask those questions. How do I know? Because I've dated for years. I never had that question asked. What are your plans for me? So when you don't ask those kind of questions, we're not going to voluntarily get it. So if you don't ask us, we're not going to tell you. Y'all are not listening to me today. So watch this now, fellas. I want to go back to you now. I want you to understand how important it is, listen to me now, to say no to dating when you know you're not emotionally available or healed. I'm going to say it again. Saying no to dating when you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're not emotionally available or healed. So let's talk about this for a second. I'm glad that we get a chance to talk about this, fellas. Listen to me good. I grew up in a home, both parents, and coming home late from my dad was like 9:30, 10 o'clock, right? 9:30, 10 o'clock, my dad come home late. That's late for him because he's working, comes home, usually home like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Sometimes he gets home, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Watch this. He comes through the door. My mom meet him at the top of the steps. Where you been? Woman, you don't ask me where I've been. Now, all of a sudden, they got issues. They're fighting. We got to go break it up. Here I am in my 40s, on the phone with my brother one day, talking about our past. Hit a trigger, we start crying like babies. What I realized is I was carrying baggage that wasn't even mine. I was not healed. Fellas, I'm going to say it again. Don't pursue a relationship if you know you're emotionally unavailable or unhealed. You got to learn how to say no to dating when you know you're not emotionally available or even healed. So I want to give you the 4 C's of disciplined dating, 4 C's of intentional disciplined dating. So listen to me now. We talked about this, but I want to make sure we bring it back as a recap. You've got to have clarity, right? You've got to know what you want. You have to know what you want. That's clarity. Communication. You have to know not just what you want, but can you articulate it? Can you communicate what you really want? And you got to recognize consistency is critical. When I talk about consistency, are your actions matching your words? Are your actions matching your words? And then you got to have character. Character is critical. Character is very, very critical because the question becomes, are you going to be leading with integrity? So listen to me now. I'm about done with this, but I want you to hear me now. Fellas, hear me good on this. I want to encourage all of you to evaluate why you're dating. Evaluate why you're dating, and then ask yourself, how have I handled past relationships? Ask yourself that now. Why am I dating? Why am I dating? Why am I dating? And then ask yourself, how have I handled past relationships? So think about this now. All of us, if we tell the truth, well, I can say all, most of us have probably wasted someone else's time. And listen, it's okay, but I want you to really get to the place where you own it, where you grow from it, and try to never do that again. Try to never do it again. We all have made mistakes. All of us, men and women, we made mistakes. And so before you get to the place where you date, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions. Am I dating for connection or convenience? Am I dating for connection or convenience? That's what you got to ask yourself. And be honest with yourself. If you're just dating for convenience, let them know up front. But if you're dating for connection, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for connection, somebody they can build with. And that's what you want to do, is make sure you're just not wasting time. You're not being unintentional, but you're being intentional about your dating. And then, as I said earlier, if you're not ready to love her right, leave her alone. Listen to me now. If you're not ready to love her right, then leave her alone. Because the truth of the matter is, you and I have got to understand that we have got to stop, listen to me now, finding people that fit our fantasy but don't fit our future. We don't have time to continue to date with no intention. We're getting older. Time is passing us by. And you don't want to get to the place where you're old and you're by yourself because you've been playing games. And so listen, I'm gonna tell it again, before you get to your next date, before you get into something else, ask yourself, am I ready for it? Am I ready to love her right? Listen, this is Lawrence Knight, the Red Flag Coach, reminding you, don't just date, but date with intention. This is Lawrence Knight, the Red Flag Coach. I need you to go to our website, theredflagcoach.com, order some product, order our books. I need you to also make sure that you go to our YouTube page and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, because the truth of the matter, fellas, a real man leads with clarity, not chemistry. A real man leads with clarity and not chemistry. And so if you don't know what you want, don't involve someone who does. Are y'all listening to me? Because women, they're not asking for perfection. They're asking for honesty. And it's not about looking her down. It's about showing up like a man who won't let her down. I'm going to say it again. It's not about looking her down. It's about showing up like a man who won't let her down. Fellas, we've got to do a better job in our community of taking care of our queens, because we are responsible for making sure that they're taken care of. Y'all be blessed. Look to talk to y'all the next episode. Take care until the next time. This is Lawrence, the Red Flag Coach. Love y'all.